It's not run for profit.
It's not run for profit?
No.
The CCTO?
No.
Council Controlled Trading Organisation?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Right. Okay, anyway. Okay, big mistake there. Lobbies for metering through organisations such as Water New Zealand. And now in Auckland, what we're seeing is the launch of the Super City, which is centralising local government. Okay, next stop. So yeah, now the question: what can we do? We've got a petition here. If everyone wants to sign, we're going to pass it around. Organise. Just if there's a meeting going on, come along, see what you can do. Figure out what other groups are around. There's Right to Water. They're holding a meeting next Wednesday at the library. If you want to Google Right to Water, they seem worthwhile. Got Wellington Residents Coalition. Various organisations which are actually quite consistently opposing this, and as a result, it isn't a stalemate, and that's a good thing. But be ready to fight if the move comes, which it probably will under the Super City. Yeah, next stop. I'm done. Cool. Thanks.
Awesome, thank you so much, Ian. And now we have Frank. Just bring a second to organise that.
The latest one, was it?
It's also up a hill.
Having 24
It's a perennial problem. They're having a big discussion. You're going back to 1900 where to put the university.
Did you already
And
give
start the cable car, gave this huge donation.
Did you already give the new
to
one to
set
Ian?
the university up.
Yes, that's a new one.
Because if you set a university up, you're going to have a target market for your cable car. So we can blend the cable car, but I don't know how accurate that is, but it's a fun story.
Right, Frank?
All right, yep.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks very much. Well, this it maybe isn't quite about conservation, but it's about the agendas of councils and how they try to get around us and how they can succeed and how we can stop them succeeding. So the first one, if we just go on to the next slide, just pointing out what we get, 30,000 megalitres a year is what Wellington uses, about half of what Greater Wellington produces. Greater Wellington supplies and the four cities buy from Greater Wellington. And this is a very typical sort of thing, unfortunately, but worse for Wellington. 52% or so is domestic, 27% there for commercial and industrial, and a huge 21% leaks. And we get onto the leaks a bit later on as well. So let's have a look at the unaccounted. 1984, the Wellington cities had 18% leaks. They promised to reduce to 12% by 2005. 2008, 21%. Capacity, I think, has made some progress, but it costs money for your leaks, and we'll see a little bit later on. Power co outage. Do you remember the power co outage? That was leaks. That was a redundant section of water apparently that spun the leak and broke. The Newtown leaks. The Newtown leaks were for about 3 months they were running in 2006, and the usage in winter was about the same as the usage in summer. It was unbelievable, the leakage, and of course with all the sort of the way Wellington is, the leaks are very hard to detect, but it's not impossible. Now that one there is low flows. Now what they do to detect leaks is you look at the night situation and see what your flow rate is. Now this, I've got a bigger one of that. It's very hard to see those figures there, but 10 litres, these are litres per connection per hour. 10 litres per connection per hour is 20 megalitres. Wellington has about 80 megalitres a day, so it's about a quarter of Wellington's production. And when you look at this graph here, that's our CBD area around there. That's low lying. You can, up there, the lighter, the green is hardly any leaks. The red is 32 leaks per connection per hour. So that's a lot. To some degree, this tells you the age of the pipes, the work to be done, and to another degree it tells you the height, because the height is very significant because of the pressure. If you're lower down, you're going to have much bigger leaks. So we do have huge leaks still in Wellington. They try to suggest that the high figure there, 65 litres per connection per hour, from now on in the CBD is due to The abattoirs using a lot. The abattoirs use about 4.7% of our water. There's worse things happening here. Next one. Now this is the way the councils work. The key facts down here, even that one's wrong, but down here about the water. Usage 3 times out of Nelson, twice out of Auckland and Upper Hutt. And that was the sort of the propaganda to get the right response for their LTCCP. Next one. Now those are the actual facts, the gross and the domestic. So gross is litres per person per day, and that includes industrial, includes commercial, includes leaks. And this is a domestic. Now for Nelson they know, for Auckland they know, and they don't believe that really. Capacity's been assuming 230 litres per person per day. And so everything is based on that as an assumption. We don't know, and I think that's too high, and we'll see later why. But then, when all these things were pointed out to council, here's their response. The Upper Hutt twice, this statement is incorrect. That was a response in a letter from their resolutions officer. It is hard to see where the statement about Wellington's residents' consumption twice as at Auckland originated. Hard to see. That was sent out to all of the residents in Auckland, in Wellington, for the LTCCP, and hard to see. Quality of life figure, there was a figure in the quality of life which had Wellington very low. It looked good it looked good nationally across the whole of New Zealand. Wrong. Next one. The statement that Nelson's usage is about 1/3 of Wellington City is incorrect. So they admit that's incorrect now. What were they going to do about it? Let's have a look. I can assure you council is currently working on a press release which will correct the figures for water consumption of Wellington. And once that information is released, they'll provide people with a copy. Hasn't happened. Probably won't happen. That's the way. So have anyone seen any retraction in the newspapers? I'm sure you won't. Next one. But this is an interesting sort of thing. This is a propaganda. Already every day more than 450 litres is consumed, and consumption has been increasing. Now we'll see that. Next one. Wellington residents use about 350 litres a day. Well, here we've got 350, there we've got 450. So that is quite confusing. Next one. Now, Wellingtonians been urged to cut down on water. Residents use 400 litres per day. Because that's meant they really are very confusing, and they intend to confuse. That's actually over the whole of the Wellington region. That's not that Wellington City isn't nearly as bad as that, but that's what they try to make.
Where does that 450 come from then?
The 450 was they say it was. They try to gloss over it and say, well, it was really a worst case estimate. It's pretty bad. Next one. And here we've got more 2 Wellingtons who are backing a debate on the user pay system. Okay, reckless consumption they're talking about. Okay, next one. Metering was a proven way to encourage conservation. So that's the sort of the propaganda they put out. You would have seen that in the papers. Next one. And this is Capacity, who was really getting worried about all this false propaganda. The 400 litres grossly overstates the residential usage in Wellington because of commercial, industrial and visitors. Wellington has a lot of visitors. And the next one, remember that 450 litres per day and increasing. Well, there's the litres per day. Look at that increasing. And see that huge peak there? That's the Newtown leaks. The year ends on the 30th of June. So June came into 1 year, and July, August came into the next year. So that'll be the June year, that'll be the July, August year. Bumps it right up. So that was all leaks. Can't blame that on residents. Next one. Now go to Wellington's all into it too. Fanwell, I think it is highly likely at some stage to come in the future. Just softening us up. Next one. And this was Peter Cleansaw. And you'll see this is absolute rubbish. The big one is our gardens. There's 2 really simple things they can do, the they being us. So it's just the way you talk to people. You talk badly to them. They can summer-proof their gardens and so on, getting the idea that they're really wasteful, reckless consumption, all those sorts of things. Next one. And then Wild and Kennedy, who's an engineer with the regional